What's good, YouTube? In this video we're going to be going over the season 12 ranked arenas weapon tier list. Now in this video I want to let you guys know what are the best guns and what are the worst guns for arenas. This video is going to help you guys with ranking up, winning more games, more rounds, you know, and just being a better player so you can help yourself and help your team rank up. Now the criteria for ranking these weapons are how they are priced, the impact they have, you know, for if you could get them in the first round, the second round, also how just individually good these guns are. So some of these guns we're all gonna agree on, some of these guns we're gonna disagree on, but let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this video, and let me know what gun you disagree with, because there's probably gonna be a gun that you probably disagree with in this video. But when I'm ranking these guns, I'm also going to take in the fact that, you know, how often these guns are used around in ranked arenas from a lot of people. If you're new to ranked arenas, you know, watching this video is going to help you understand and know what people are using and why they are using. So first, let's start off with the assault rifles, and the first assault rifle we're going to go over is the Havoc. Now the Havoc is a gun that you can grab with turbocharger at purple. So when you upgrade it, I think it's around 1200 materials to upgrade that Havoc. A lot of people don't really use the Havoc unless it's turbocharged, so for that reason I'm gonna put it as C tier, because it's definitely one of the best guns with turbo, but like I said, no one really uses it until then. Now the next gun we're going to talk over is the Hemlock, and the Hemlock is B tier. The reason I have the Hemlock B tier is because I feel like it's a little better, it's more reliable than the Havoc. Not only that, is it's pretty good, or at least decent when it comes to distance, but when you come up close, the hip fire and stuff is good, but you definitely want, it's not up there from the A and S tier. And also, if I don't think I mentioned this on the video, but I'm ranking these guns from S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and the worst tier is D. Now the next gun that we're going to talk over is the Flatline. The Flatline I have to put at the S tier. I think the Flatline last season and this season is still one of the most reliable guns in the game. It did receive a 1 damage nerf, so instead of doing 19 damage to the body, it now does 18, but even with that, it's still one of the most reliable guns in the game, so you can never go wrong using a Havoc. I mean, not the Havoc, you can never go wrong using the Flatline. Now the next gun that we're going to talk about is the R301. This is the last gun in the assault rifle section, so now I don't want to rank these guns too easy. I kind of want to be critical on ranking these. I'm gonna put the R301 S tier. If there was a tier in between S and A, I would put the R301 there. The reason being is because it's not as reliable as a Flatline, but the impact that the R301 has when you can use it, especially when you upgrade it twice to blue tier, which means you could use a 2x sight on it. One of the best guns to use because it's just an all-around gun. The only downfall to it is that you can't get in the first round, and in the second round you're probably not going to be able to upgrade it to a blue tier, meaning you can't get that 2x sight, which I feel like the R3 is best with. Either a 2x or 3x, whatever your preference is, but it's so hard to put the R301 down to A tier, but I'm just going to keep it at the S tier because I know it's one of the most favorite guns for all of it. Now let's talk about the Marksman weapon. The triple take is a Marksman weapon, and I have that at A tier. I think it's one of the best guns when it comes to distance or long range. It's definitely a gun that, you know, you could definitely shoot your shots and hit with it, whether that's a high number or it's a low number. At the end of the day, you're still hitting shots, and I think triple take, you know, good for that, and it's also good for close, at least compared to the other Marksman weapon. Now let's talk about the 30-30. The 30-30 I have at B tier. I think it's under the triple take. If it was me, I'd put the 30-30 at D tier because I suck with this gun, but the 30-30 is a gun that it's the only gun that you could get a bruiser with or a 2x sight with in the first round, so I feel like that has to give it a boost in the weapon tier list. I think the 30-30 is good in the first round for sure, and later when you're able to upgrade it to whatever sight you want, whether that's a 3x or a 2x4, when you can upgrade it to a blue or purple. So the 30-30 is definitely a decent gun. I put it right there with the Hemlock. Now the Bowcheck bow, I have it as C tier. I don't really see anyone really using the Bowcheck bow, but I know that it can be impactful, but just nobody really uses it, so I have the Bowcheck at the C tier. And then the last Marksman weapon is the G7 Scout, and that's a care package weapon, so All care package weapons are insane. They're all S tier, but I'm not going to put them on the list. Now let's talk shotguns. Shotguns, I have the EVA 8. In my opinion, probably the worst shotgun. I have that one as a C tier. The EVA 8, it's good, like every shotgun, but I feel like the other shotguns are better. To make this quick, I have the Mastiff, Peacekeeper. I have them both at B tier. I think whatever you prefer. I mean, they're both good, especially since both of them have hop-ups when you upgrade it to purple tier. But the reason I have them at B tier instead of like a tier is because you can't usually you're not going to rely on those guns as a primary, so I feel like those are more as a B tier gun, and I do think that they're both better than the EVA 8. Now let's talk about the Mozambique. The Mozambique, if we're talking about Mozambique with no hammer points, I have it actually at B tier if no hammer points, but because of this season with hammer points, we have to put at S tier. I think the Mozambique with hammer points you could get at first round, and not only that, you could use this gun and be good all rounds by just using this gun all game. This gun is really good. To be honest with you, it's my favorite gun for the hammer points. What they did to the Mozam in season 12 ranked arenas is pretty good. Now let's talk light machine gun. First light machine gun that we're going to go over is the L-Star. The L-Star I have at B tier. Season 10, this gun was S tier. It was the best gun in the game. It was the meta for arenas. Season 11, I tried it. I put it at A tier in season 11. Season 12, I tried it again. I think the only thing that makes this gun good is that you don't have to reload it if you can time it right. That's the only thing. So other than that, I have this gun at B tier. I think it's nothing special now. Next, we're going to talk about the Rampage. The Rampage I have at A tier. It's definitely a gun I feel like that can be an S tier. They nerfed it, but for some reason in this meta I don't see a lot of people using Rampages, you know, so for that reason I have it at A tier. Now when I was, you know, before recording this video, I was thinking about it as S tier. I don't know, this season I haven't seen the Rampage a lot, so for that reason I have it at A tier. Still a good gun. I know it received a 2 damage nerf. It received a nerf when charging up your gun, so I don't know, I have it at A tier. Other gun is the Devotion. I have that at A tier as well. Both the Rampage and the Devotion, depending on the person, can definitely be S tier, depending on, you know, who's using this gun. Especially the Devotion. Devotion can be S tier for someone easily because it could be an annoying gun to go against. It's probably one of the most frustrating guns, to be honest with you, but it's not as reliable compared to R301 or a Flatline. You know, those guns are always reliable. Devotion, majority of people use this gun just when it's turbocharged or when it has turbocharger, so this plays an impact on the ranking, and not a lot of people know how to control the Devotion's recoil, so that's why I only have it at A tier and not S tier. Now the sniper rifles, we're gonna make this quick. The charge rifle I have at C tier. The Sentinel, which I think is the best sniper, I have at A tier. And then at B tier we have the Longbow. I think that's how it's ranked. I feel like no one really uses the charge rifle in arenas. The Longbow is okay, but I just feel like if you're gonna use a sniper, you might as well just use a Sentinel, which does 70 damage. And if you charge it up, it does 88 damage to the body. So either using a Sentinel or a Marksman weapon like the triple take. That's how I'm ranking the snipers. Now let's talk about the pistols. The first pistol that we're going to go over is the Wingman. I think the Wingman's at A tier. It could definitely be someone's S tier, or it could definitely be someone's D tier. So because of that, I have it at A tier. And it's also a gun that's reliable where you can get at all round. Now next we're going to talk P20. P20 I have either at C tier or really D tier if there's no hammer points. But with hammer points, I'm going to put this gun at S tier. I think it's one of the best secondary guns you can have. And it's also a gun that you could do good with first round or first 2 rounds, depending if you're either a Mozambique guy or you're a P20 guy. But I think I have to put it at S tier because you could always have it and be dangerous with this gun, because if you are in the 3rd or 4th round, you pair the R301 with a maxed out P20, you have that medium to long range in the R301 with a short range gun that does so much damage like the P20 with hammers. So I have the P20 hammers at S tier. Now the gun that I feel like most people will probably agree or disagree with is the RE45. With no hammer points, I have it at C tier. With hammer points, I only have it at B tier. I don't think that RE45 is really that good, to be honest. It's definitely better, you know, with hammers, but with hammers, it does 12 damage to the body when they have shield, and when they have no shield, it's only 16 damage. So because of that, it's not like it does really, it's like any other regular SMG. So I feel like I would rather have just a regular SMG that does more damage to the body than just doing more damage when they're flesh, if that makes sense. But I have the RE at B tier. If you guys disagree, let me know down in the comment section on that one. I'm very curious to see where you guys rank the RE45. And then for the submachine guns, this is something else that I want you guys to comment down in the comment section too, because I want to hear your guys' opinion on this one. But for me, I have all the submachine guns at B tier. I feel like with the meta in arenas, first 2 or 3 rounds or whatever, majority of people are going to use hammer points. They're going to use Mozambique or P20 hammer points. And then when it comes to the later rounds, when you have more materials, more than likely the hammer point guns will be your secondary gun, and then your primary gun will be either an R301, a flatline, and then or there'll be guns like a Rampage or Devotion that people just want to troll or mess around with if they want to use those guns. So I feel like the submachine guns in this season with this meta for arenas, they don't really have too much space in this meta, because why would you use those guns if there's hammer points in the game for up close battles? They're just gonna get outgunned. So with this, I have the submachine guns at B tier. But which one is your guys' favorite submachine gun? For me, it's the alternator. I would have the alternator at A tier. But let me know what your guys' favorite submachine guns is in the comment section. And also let me know what you guys think about the RE45. Those are the 2 things that I'm very curious with when it comes to this season 12 weapon tier list. And the bottom here are the heirloom guns or the care package guns, and they're all S tier. I don't have to put that up there because those are just good guns. But this was the weapon tier list. This was the video. Let me know what you guys think of this.